I feel like I've been a bad content creator over the past few days, because when it comes to this YouTube channel, we do two things here. We upload videos and we do streams. However, the streams haven't really been here over the course of the season. The last time we streamed was for the NHL Draft, I believe, and before we were doing streams for the playoff games, we would do streams every day, every other day, talking about all the series live as they happened and making post-game recaps and everything. So streaming for a good chunk of 2020 and 2021 was a big part of the channel. And I said earlier on in this week and in previous videos as well that, hey, we're going to start streaming again for the playoffs. We're going to start doing this and doing that because I know how much the streams meant to you, and I really did appreciate the support we got from the streams, and everybody was asking me on Twitter and in my comment section, hey, Lego, when are you going to start streaming again? I really want to see you stream because the live streams were fun and we had a good time and it was a good vibe, right? So I took all that to heart, and I was like, yeah, we're going to start streaming when the playoffs start, because that's what we did last year, and that's what I want to do this year. And I'll say this with 100% certainty that yes, those sentiments came from an honest place in my heart. I really do want to uphold what it was that people want to see, and I really do appreciate all of the love that we got on live streams. So when it came to the question as to whether or not we'd do them again, I was like, yeah, of course, why wouldn't we? But now, the playoffs have started, and I'm starting to really think about my life in a way that contradicts the idea of us being able to make streams as much as I was able to do before. For the past year and a bit on this YouTube channel, I've been running a full-time schedule of waking up at 8 and making videos at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 3 p.m. PST-ish. We miss the mark sometimes. Sometimes we upload videos half an hour later, or maybe an hour later, or whatever, but we always try to get 3 out on a day. And a fourth if there was another big piece of news that took over the hockey world that we wanted to make a short video about. Maybe even more if there was a Canucks game that day and I wanted to make a post-game video about it. But when it comes to live streams, I was saying this a lot throughout the season, as to the reason why we didn't do any streams during the regular season was because when it comes to the regular schedule of waking up at 8 and making 3 videos a day until 4 p.m.-ish, I just didn't really have the time to invest into doing external streams on top of the regular 8 to 3 schedule that I had for myself. Firstly, it's due to the circumstances of my life around me, but secondly, it's due to just the actual video making process itself. Let's start out with number 2, because I feel like that's the more directly relatable one in this respect. Making videos from 8 to 3, even when I'm not making videos. I'm eating breakfast in between that, I'm recording gameplay in between that, I'm doing more research for prospects and hockey stories in between that, so it's more like a work day for me, and I do this every day. Sure, I'm working from my bedroom, so it's not really the most difficult process in the world, but it's still a process. And when it gets to a point where you're doing hockey-related YouTube things for 7 hours a day, the idea of adding another 2-hour, 3-hour stream on top of that where I still have to be on YouTuber mode, quote-unquote, where I have to be like that for 2 straight hours, reading the chat, interacting with messages, and just being Lego rocks, it sounded very unappealing and scary to me, quite frankly. And so, for most of 2021, 2022, I steered away from the idea of streaming because I was already dedicating so much time and effort into the channel that the extra hours for streaming felt like it would be way too overwhelming for me mentally to keep up with. And heading into the playoffs, I was kind of thinking, okay, we can kind of deal with that in the playoffs, right? It's the playoffs. We can go out there and still do streams and still do what it was that we were doing beforehand, making videos every day, 3 videos from 8 to 3 p.m., and then do the stream on top of that because it's the playoffs, right? And then I realized something else that didn't really occur to me before. You see, later this week, I'm going to be helping some friends move. They're moving from an apartment they have on Fraser and Marine, going over to one of the new high-rises on the Paramount near Richmond Brighouse Station. Going to be helping my friends move a little bit over there. Furthermore, I have another friend. He just sold an apartment at SFU, and he's going to be moving to Richmond as well. So we're going to be helping him out later this week too, going up and down the mountain, taking things back and forth, and making sure that my friend has a good, smooth moving process for him. Furthermore, I'd been missing out on a lot of Canucks games, and I'd been talking about that in the post-game videos because there's just a lot of hockey going on. And not like NHL hockey, but like real hockey for me. There are floor hockey leagues that have started up, and there are drop-ins going on at the local community center that I participate in as well, not to mention the fact that my friends and I go out to play volleyball near the Olympic Oval every few days here and there, and that usually goes on until the nighttime when we go out for a nice post-game meal, and then we go over to one of my friends' place and we just chill out there until midnight or 1 or 2 a.m. My life is a lot busier now than it was when we were quarantining and when we had all the free time at home to sit around and watch hockey, and for me to do streams and make videos endlessly, because what the heck else would I be doing with my time anyway? I hate to say this, but I just don't know if my life is in a position where I can sacrifice all the external stuff that I've got going on to do streams. I don't know if I can give up all the activities that I do for my physical and mental well-being, relationship building, and all that to do the 2-3 hour streams every few days that we would be doing on the channel when the playoffs start up. Furthermore, there is an idea that says within me, okay, am I really the right guy to be doing these streams? Because Hot Take Hockey, Grav, of course you have Steve Dangle doing stuff on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. These are all fantastic creators, and they've got fantastic personalities, and they all do such amazing work with their live work that there's somewhat of an imposter syndrome that I feel when I think about the idea of me entering that mix as well. Oh, I don't have the game footage like Steve Dangle does. I don't have the quantity of people that Hot Take Hockey does, nor Grav does. We don't have the same community inside jokes that those guys have either. So am I really the right guy to be quote-unquote competing with these guys for views? Because when we all stream at the same time, we're competing for your view. If you watch my stream, it's helpful to me. If you watch Grav's stream instead, it's helpful to him. If you rush John's stream, it's helpful to him. And you have to make that choice as to which one you're going to want to watch, because you can't be watching all three at the same time. That's just not really going to be cohesive for you. So for me, it's difficult to even think about myself in that same realm, and that's yet another reason that's added on to the stress and anxiety of coming back on and doing consistent live streams, on top of the amount of free time that I'd be sacrificing to devote to other aspects of my life and my relationships. And to anybody that's going to say, oh, Lego, come on, this guy, like, he's built up his audience and he's not dedicating his time to the audience, like, he can't go out there and make a 2-hour stream every day. Come on, what are you doing, Lego? I totally get where you're coming from. And furthermore, this decision of me not really doing all too many streams has hurt the channel too. We make so much money when we do live streams. You know why? Because you are generous. You, the person watching this video, you are generous collectively with a whole bunch of other people that also support this channel and support my dream and hobby of making videos full time. Whenever we do streams, we make a ton of money because a lot of you donate. Whenever we do streams, we get a ton of subscribers because we get new people feeding into the algorithm. They see the vibe we've got in our chat. They see me and the vibe that I've got, and they like that, and they're like, okay, cool, I'll subscribe. The channel grows tremendously when we do live streams in terms of views, subs, and money. All that stuff is covered like 2-3-fold more when we do consistent live streams and when we get people coming in, donating, subscribing, and viewing what we've got. So believe me when I say this video is tough to make. Going out there and talking about my life being in a position where I don't really know if I'm able to do consistent streams like I wanted to do for the playoffs, mostly because there's just so much externally going on that I don't even know if I can watch the games per se. This definitely isn't the news or the update that I wanted to give you, but my life has been so comfortable with this 8 to 3 schedule of making videos in the morning and then doing whatever else from 3 to the end of the day to invest time and effort into my other relationships, into my personal well-being, physically and mentally, that I don't know if I can even do streams consistently anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some areas of hockey that I think I can excel at tremendously, which is why we're going to do streams for the draft lottery and the draft itself. Those are two events that I dedicate a ton of emotional and mental investment to, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and do that. But when it comes to consistent playoff streams, man, I hate going back on my word because I never do this, but I think I might have to. My life is just too busy to go out there and commit time to doing streams after doing the regular 8 to 3 job of making videos every day, which is a process I'm super comfortable with and I enjoy very much. So I'm sorry if you were looking forward to playoff streams. I'm not really too sure how often or if we're going to be able to do any, at least until the later rounds, because there's just so much else I have to pay attention to in my life. There are relationships that I care about so much that I've garnered over the past few months here. There are wonderful people in my world that I'm so happy to share a part of my life with every time I see them. And there are so many things to do and explore and grow when it comes to life, right? But I wasn't able to do a lot of that last year, which is why we streamed, which is why we had all the free time, which is why we were able to do all the things that we did. I'd have 10, 12-hour days last year where I would wake up, make a video or two, then we would stream for 3 or 4 hours because we would stream before the games actually began, and then we made a post-game video about the game we just watched, and then we'd make another video about whatever other game was on at that time. We did that a lot during the 2020 bubble when everybody was quarantining, so there was nothing else to do. And so now, I don't think it's the same anymore. So I apologize to you if you were hoping for some better news, but this is me coming from the heart and talking about my life in all the context that it can provide right now, because I really do think this was important to acknowledge. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know what's in the background. Is it Splitgate? Splitgate beta footage from last year, July 2021? I have no idea. We'll catch up with that when we get there. And bye.